Right, so just go from hello, CFO for us guys. For us, let's go.
Good morning, Jack. It's Oliver calling from Raw Selection. I appreciate that we've never actually spoken in person before. Would it help if I introduced Raw Selection and a little bit about what I do here?
Yeah,
so Raw Selection is a specialist in executive search. We work exclusively with lower and middle market private equity firms across both Europe and North America. My sole focus within the firm, however, is just to look at the investment and the operations teams of the private equity firms within New York and the tri-state area. I could talk about us all day, Jack, but what I'd love to hear more about is how we can help you and your firm. But just to start with, is there any questions that you have so far?
No, Sean, go. From where Ollie was.
Okay, fair enough. Just regarding this opportunity, I know I reached out to you, Jack, but the call from your perspective, do you seem to have an interest within this CFO profile, or do you actually have a wider need within your firm currently?
Potential need for a CFO like the one you specified, Sean.
And what's actually driving this need, Jack?
Main drivers are we've got a couple of companies that we're looking at right now. One we're pretty confident we're going to require in the building product space. We're going to need a CFO for it because we're going to do some add-on acquisitions, and the talent within the business right now doesn't look like it's going to be a fit.
Alright, okay, and just piggybacking off of that.
Mogo.
Based on the need there, Jack, what is it that you're looking for in terms of experience that this CFO needs?
I'd say, we're looking for someone who's got add-on acquisition experience primarily, and then we're also looking for someone who's got a really good understanding of the tiling and or any sort of interior products space.
And how important is PE experience, Jack?
It's going to be pretty much essential here. We want someone who's done private equity turn before. If we're going to be paying them the equity component, we want someone who's done at least one turn in PE. Ideally done an exit. It's not going to be the be all and end all, but I want someone who's worked PE before.
Yeah. And is there any specific qualifications required for this CFO, Jack?
No.
Okay, and what's the salary range that you're looking at, Jack?
I'd say we'd be looking to pay someone from 220 to 300. I'd say that's about fair.
And what have you done so far to fill this role?
Now you go.
So what have you done so far to fill this role, Jack?
Right now, there's a couple of guys I'm talking to in my network that could potentially be a fit, but there's outside of that, nothing. We've not spoken to any search firms, if that's what you're getting at.
Okay. And the guys that you think could potentially be a good fit, what is it about them that you like that you don't like?
I think that there's two guys I know that I do like. It's just whether they want to do it or not. There's two guys that I know that we've used before. They don't work with our group now, but they work with. One of them's in a public company, one of them's works with another private equity group. It's just whether we can get them to do it. They both seem interested, but I think it's going to be tough to get them to leave their opportunity. So that's why I'm talking to you.
Okay, happy to share those profiles across to yourself here, Jack. But just going on the business there, how likely is it that you guys will be able to sort of close this acquisition here, Jack?
I'd say it's highly likely, particularly the one in Chicago. It looks like it's going to close at any point in the next sort of 30-45 days.
Okay, so when would you want to start seeing profiles from you, Jack?
I'd be happy to take a look at the candidates you got now. Ollie, go.
Or can I just come back from the start?
I think of something else to ask.
None of this is relevant.
What?
To me.
We'll just think of something else to ask. Just think any other box. Come on, just think on your feet. Just ask any other box.
Well, I don't.
Alright, you're out. Sure.
So, Jack, regarding this position then, how do I best sell this to potential clients out there? What's the size of your firm?
We're 3 billion AUM.
And what's your current revenue and EBITDA? Where do you want that to reach?
I'd say we're currently at like 40 million. With this company, we're going to get it to like 200.
And then, with respect to the challenges that you've currently faced in acquiring talent, what have you noticed in the market, given that you've been searching in Chicago?
Good question. I'd say it's tough to get people to move to Chicago. Mogo.
And for this CFO to come in and really hit the ground running, what does success look like? What would they have achieved within the next year?
I'd say completing 3 add-on acquisitions is going to be key for us, and then also when they come into the role, ensuring that the integration runs smoothly and getting the business towards sort of over 100 million in revenue.
And typically, Jack, when we work with A players that are on the fence, what's the best way for me to sell this opportunity to them?
I'd say the best way for them to sell this opportunity is say it's going to be an exciting buy and build strategy. There's going to be a massive room for add-on acquisitions, and that they're going to have an opportunity to really step up in their career. If they grow this business from 40 to 200 million in revenue, it's going to look great on their resume. So I'd say that's a selling point in itself, and there's clearly going to be an equity component that could be quite lucrative on a successful exit.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Jack, the location would be Chicago. Would the CFO need to be located out in Chicago, or are you open to remote or travel?
I'd say they're going to have to do a lot of travel anyway to the add-on acquisition sites, but I'd rather them be based in Chicago or at least in and around the city.
Okay, appreciate that. And
now you go.
Thank you, Jack, for all the details here. Just going back on, let's say in a situation where you're not able to bring in this CFO, how would that affect the business or your PE firm?
I'd say it'd be tough. We'd struggle to do the add-on acquisitions without a CFO. We'd have to get one of the operating partners to step in. I don't think any of them have enough financial background to really integrate them that well. I mean, they do it okay, but it would be tough. It wouldn't stop us from acquiring the businesses. It would just probably slow us down a little bit. So I'd want a specialist to do it. One of my operating partners could do this, but I'd rather have a CFO in place. It would make more sense for them.
Okay, so ideally someone with an M&A experience is more important to yourself there. Just going back on the business, was they just seeing the reason for obviously the acquisition there, but was they the CFO that was in the business? What did they not do well that you think if the CFO was coming for they'll do that?
Oh, there's no CFO there now. There's just a sort of a controller in place. There's not someone higher level enough to do it. Perfect. Right, we'll pause there.